Okay, it's really windy, and I apologize in advance if you guys hear, like, the wind shaking my windows. Also, another apology. I recorded the video before last week's video, so it's gonna be about the same quality as last week's, where it's kind of laggy and clunky, I guess. I'm gonna try and fix that for next week's video. I can't really redraw this one. I mean, I could, but I'm very happy with the final result of this one, so I can't go back in time. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I really wish I could. Alright. Anyways, on with the show. Welcome to Monster Monday, where I draw monsters as cute anime babes. This week, I've drawn a zombie, who I've named Zoe. Z for zombie, Z for Zoe. I'm not very creative. I could have named her Zelda, I guess. But I like Zoe more. I feel like it fits her a little bit more. The design process for this one is a little bit more simpler than Pandora. Where Pandora, I just got really inspired by Bride of Frankenstein drawing. When it comes to Zoe, it was just kind of, I drew Pandora with the idea of wanting a cast of characters around her, and then Zoe kind of popped up. And when I first drew Zoe, I drew her in more of like a schoolgirl uniform, and her personality was very blah. You know, I thought, she's a zombie, she's gonna be like a zombie, you know? Very blah, very bland, very slow. And I thought, oh, you know what? She'll be the main character. Because why? I don't know. I think just kind of blah and bland leaves a lot of room for development, I guess. Because if you go anywhere from there, you went somewhere. And that's always a good thing, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a good writer, so I don't have a lot more to say about that other than that. But yeah, I drew her with the idea of her being a zombie in mind. I just kind of gave her floofy hair. When I was drawing her, I realized a lot of the characters that I design don't have bangs. They have more like swooping hair off to the sides of their face. Nothing really like shorter than the rest of their hair. So I decided, oh, you know what? She's gonna have bangs in the front of her face. And she was gonna be a bit more grotesque, but I didn't like the first time I drew her all grotesque and gross, because when it comes to my art, I'm very cute. I'm very cutesy. Everything's kind of got a bit of a chibi look to it. It's not exactly chibi, obviously, but I like to classify it and think of it as very cute. And when you draw something very grotesque, whilst still being very cutesy, I think it looks very I don't know what the word for that is. Just not right. It's a little unsettling, I suppose. So I went with something that was still cute, but still recognizable as a zombie. And so I just kind of had her eye hanging out, gave her green hair. No, I gave her green skin. I gave her white hair just because I thought that would be a nice contrast. And the eye poking out, that actually came from a different thing. Back when I was I want to say 12? Oh god, 10 years ago. Holy crap. When I was about 12, I used to be in the MMD community. And this was before I even had MMD downloaded. And if you don't know what MMD is, it's kind of like a 3D animation program. It stands for Miku Dance. And you can animate like Vocaloids. If you don't know what a Vocaloid is, I don't know who you are. But back in the day, there used to be this model of... Who the fuck texted me? Okay. Well, back in the day, there used to be this model of Miku, and it was a zombie model. And it was basically the same thing as the regular model, except her hair was kind of crimpy, her skin was really, really pale. She had some, like, blotchy blood marks on her. And the cool thing about her was she had an eye popping out. And I thought, oh my god, that's so cool. And I remember at the time, it's so stupid. I had downloaded that model once I downloaded MMD, and I tried to make, oh god, it's so awful. I tried to make a music video with that zombie Miku, another MMD model, and this MMD stage that was a really cool room. And I was trying to be a music video to the song Re-Eat Your Brains by Jonathan Colton. I don't know if that song is still as great as I remember it being when I was a kid, but I loved that song. I loved a couple songs by that guy, because they're all very stupid, silly songs, and oh my god. I feel like if I go back and listen to those songs right now, I feel like I'm just embarrassing myself without knowing it. Because I feel like if I go back and listen to those songs, it's gonna be, oh my god, I can't believe I liked that. But I don't know, maybe they still hold up. I don't know. I still sing a couple of those songs in my head, so they kind of hold up, I think. But yeah, when I started drawing a zombie, the first thing that came to mind was that MMD model. So it's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna draw her kind of like that. And that was kind of it for her design process. I kind of left her alone for a little while, and then again, when I started thinking of this monster comic, which is like a ripoff of Monster High, the one that I talked about last week, I started drawing her a little bit more, and I started actually coming up with a personality for her. And one of the things that I gave her is I gave her these bags under her eyes. So I kind of thought she'd be someone with a bit more of a dry humor. And then I gave her more of a sporty look, less of a, not super sporty, just kind of like a casual thing, I guess. Casual sporty. It looks sporty to me, how about? I gave her that kind of look, and mostly because, you know, zombies, they go chasing after their prey. They don't do it very well, but they do it. So I thought, you know what? In this funny monster school, she's on the track team. The zombie track team, which is sad and slow. But I don't know why I think that's so funny. But another thing I thought was fun about her, and that makes her my favorite character to draw, because last week I said Pandora's one of my favorites. Zoe is my favorite. That's why she's like the channel mascot right now. She's a zombie. She eats. Her appetite is insatiable. So I decided, you know what? She's just gonna eat and eat and eat all the time. I didn't know I loved drawing food this much until I started drawing Zoe, like, eating food all the time. And yeah, that's why I drew her with a tray with burgers and fries. I was really gonna load that tray up with a lot more, but I thought it was looking too cluttered, and so I stuck with just the 2 burgers, the fries, those little dipping ketchup cups, and a soda, you know. And I think that's about it when it comes to Zoe. I mean, I could talk about her color scheme, it's just dumb. I think this is the only time I've actually semi-thought about a color scheme. Because usually things just kind of come to me, and it's probably awful for me to do, because I don't really practice color theory as often as I ought to. But with Zoe, I definitely thought about it just a smidge, because I knew she was going to be green, you know? Everything I'm going with is a little bit more cartoonish. I wasn't going to go for, you know, actual skin color of a dead person. I was like, she's going to be green, it's cartoonish, it's cute. And then I decided, for whatever reason, her hair was going to be white. I think it gives more of a dead girl kind of look. And that was kind of the only color scheme I had for her when I first really started drawing her. Because the first time I drew her, it was just a sketch, no color. I had some things in mind, but nothing really too concrete. When I actually drew her and made a finished piece, I drew her basically green, white, and red. I stuck with 3 colors on that one. And then the second time I drew her, I decided, oh, I'll go with the red, but I'm going to give her a yellow headband, because I like the idea. At this point, I was starting to forge the idea of her eating all the time, and I was like, I want to give her a more hungry, I guess, color scheme. And the colors green, red, and yellow go really well together to make a person hungry. You might see that on a McDonald's sign where there's red and yellow, or at a grocery store where there's a lot more green and yellow. There's some red. Red is more in the aisles, but like the grocery store that I currently work at, it's like a green and yellow aesthetic that's going on in those horribly, horribly bright lights. Oh my god. But yeah, I was kind of going for that kind of color scheme, that aesthetic, and I'm very, very happy with her look. she's my favorite character to draw. Partly because I think she's really cute, also partly because I love drawing food. I didn't know I loved drawing it until now. And that's about it. I promised last time that I'd come up with something when it comes to the like and subscribe and leave a comment and all that, but I haven't figured it out quite yet. Give me a little time. But if you want to do all those things, that'd be pretty great, you know? But yeah, that's about it. Next week, I'll be drawing... I'm not quite sure yet. I'm thinking about drawing a Medusa character, but she's very hard to draw, and I don't like drawing her very often. So, if you guys have a suggestion for a monster girl I should draw, leave it in the comments. Otherwise, see you next week. I gotta come up with something to say at the end of these videos. I do not know how to close it. But yeah, see you next week. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.